This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 188, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode, I speak to Dan the Man about the police. Yes, that's right, the police. You will find out why we chose that topic in the episode. Anyway, I also have some good news. Well, I have two pieces of good news. The first is that the horrible problem with the website is now 100% fixed. Okay, it was actually fixed about 3 weeks ago. I just forgot to tell you. So I can promise you, if you visit rockandrollenglish.com, it is safe, okay? It doesn't have the coronavirus or any virus, okay? It is safe. And the other good news is that this week, I am going to release a podcast every day. You did hear that correctly, every day. The podcast will only be short, but I will be sharing some of my expertise with you. That's right, I do have some expertise in something. I have been teaching English for 10 years and done about 1 million different courses. So in that time, I have learned one or two things. Well, probably 4 things. So that's why I'm doing 4 podcasts extra this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And sharing the 4 things that I have learned in 10 years with you. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. Here is the conversation with Dan the Man. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Dan the Man, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Always fantastic, Dan. Always fantastic. I've got over the stag now, so I've got over it. I've recovered. My farts smell like normal again.
That's the question on everyone's lips. How are Martin's farts?
Nice rock and roll vocabulary there. The question on everyone's lips. The thing everyone is asking themselves. Well, there you go. Now you know. Anyway, Dan, how do we usually start the show?
With a review.
Do you think we have a review?
Yes.
Yes, we do. I don't think I've read this before, but it is from Viktor Bezborodov. As always, apologies for the pronunciation. And it says, the show is based around the host, Martin, talking to his friends and explaining some occurring vocabulary along the way. The host and his friends have a very good sense of humour, self-deprecating and very British. Oh, yeah, God save the Queen. The conversations are very enjoyable, much more enjoyable than most entertaining shows. And on top of that, you get to improve your English with the comments from the host. I highly recommend it. P.S. Shout out to Dan the Man.
Wow. It's
wow.
Victor. It's Victor, yeah?
Victor, yeah.
Well, this is a shout out to Victor.
So thank you very much for that, Victor. And remember to please leave your reviews. But yes, thanks again. Anyway, moving on to today's show, Dan. Do you know what we're talking about today?
No.
I don't know why I still find that funny.
I'm trying to not even react to it anymore, just because I know that's all you want, a reaction.
Anyway, today we are talking about the old bill, the filth, the scum, whatever you want to call them. Explain to the listeners what that is, Dan.
Well, I think you're talking about the police. The
police, yes. All of those terms I used are very British ways to refer to the police, very slang. Not so nice.
Normally by fucking idiots or criminals.
I'm a criminal, Dan. Always have been, always will be. Not very nice, especially, the filth and the scum. They're very horrible things to say. But just in case any police officers are listening, I'm only joking. Please don't arrest me, okay? Yeah. And the reason we're talking about this is because I saw something on social media the other day, place where you can find, quotes, like inspirational quotes and motivational things.
I thought you were describing social media for a second there, just in case people didn't know what that was.
It's a new concept, Dan. It's a new concept, this social media game. And I saw something that said, do regular dogs see police dogs and think, oh shit, it's the police?
I fucking hope so.
Well, it was a great question, I thought, because that's the natural reaction. Well, it is for me. I see a policeman and I think, oh fuck, what have I done? Please don't arrest me. Or if I'm driving and there's a police car behind me, I think they're going to pull me over now. So when they pull you over, it's when they ask you to stop. Do you have that as well, Dan?
Yeah, even though you haven't done anything wrong, you start acting like a criminal.
You're still thinking, oh fuck, where are the drugs? Get rid of the drugs. Yeah. I haven't got any drugs, but where are they?
Yeah, I gave that guy a lift 4 years ago who definitely had drugs.
Exactly. All of these thoughts go through your head at the same time.
Although if you get not scared, well, let's say scared. If you get scared by seeing the police, how do you feel when you see a police dog?
Oh, God. Yeah. If there's one thing that really scares me, it's a police dog, because I think they're trained to kill, okay? Yeah. But, yeah, that and seeing a policeman with a gun and you just have to walk past. In fact, I had this recently when I went to the embassy in Rome to get a document to get married. And outside the British embassy were police with dogs and big machine guns. And I had to walk past them. And I was just like, hiya, I've got an appointment today. Can you just put that gun down for a minute? Is that okay? And
the dog, yeah. I've ever been like, I was called over once by a police officer and asked if it was okay if the dog could scan me for drugs, right? Obviously I said yes, it was fine, because I knew I had none on me, because obviously I don't carry drugs on me.
Sure, Dad, sure you don't. Just add in that, just in case a policeman is listening. Yeah. He's just added that, I don't carry drugs, it's not me, I didn't do it.
Even though, I think it was because at the time I was carrying a guitar, so they must have assumed, I don't know why they pulled me across. Anyway.
Like a hippie, all the hippies that play guitars, exactly. They've got loads of drugs on them.
Exactly. Anyway, the dog came over, and it was one of the most intimidating things, even though the dog didn't do anything, like just the way it is with you, and then it suddenly sat down to basically say, he's okay. But through the whole time, I thought, this thing is... Have I got any drugs on me? Even though I knew, because I don't have drugs on me ever, I was paranoid that what if I'd sat on some drugs.
Yeah, all of these thoughts go through your mind. And when I went to Rome to get this document, right, you have to go to this interview. Well, the first thing as well, when I walked into the embassy, there was a massive picture of the Queen, and I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake!
Did you salute it?
Oh, yeah, of course. I got down on my knees. Yeah. Anyway, and then you have to go into this interview room and they start questioning you like you're under arrest. And I was just thinking, all I want to do is get married here. Like, can we just relax a little bit? And then they said, okay, so your partner, is she any relation to you? And I was like... no.
I hope not.
Yeah, exactly. And then he gave me a piece of paper and then said, well, just check this, just to check. Maybe she might be one of these things and you don't know. And there was all of these strange things like sister-in-law, like sister-in-law's cousin, and all of these strange things. Oh, but really? one of the terms on there was mother. And it was like he was giving me that, like, just to remind me, like I was going to go, oh, fuck, you know what? She is my mum.
I bet you when he got to that card, he probably was really looking you in the face. How's he going to react? Is it his mum?
So, yeah, I thought I had seen her before. You're right. We're going to have to call off the wedding. So when you call something off, you have to cancel it because she's my mum. I mean, she's 5 years younger than me, so it would be difficult for her to be my mum, knowing how all of that stuff works.
But you do hear these stories where people get married and then they find out they're brother and sister.
I bloody hope that's not the case with me. Anyway, so I have got some other facts about the police here, about British police and police all around the world. So one thing about British police, which I had never thought about before, they speak about how they always wear helmets to protect their heads when they're just walking around on foot. And then I never realised it is a stupid thing to do. Why are they wearing helmets in case they fall over?
So you're asking me as if I know the answer. I mean,
I thought you might be able to shed some light on it. So when you shed some light on something, you give more information about it.
Well, maybe people throw things at them, or they used to throw things. I don't know.
And those shit helmets work, do they?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous thing. Something I had never thought about. This next point, though, is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. So, in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, in 2015, so, only 5 years ago, there was a riot with teenagers. So, a riot when lots of people were going crazy and punching each other. And the police didn't know what to do. So, then they used the music from an ice cream van to calm everyone down. So let's just have a listen to some ice cream van music in case people aren't aware of it. So let's just imagine, Dan, you're punching someone in the face and you've just listened to that music. What do you do next?
Well, you probably would stop thinking, what the fuck is going on?
Could you imagine that, though? You're like punching people, stealing things from shops, and then you think, oh, I think I'll get an ice cream.
I get a flake. A Mr. Whippy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all ice cream terms. Yeah, although I must admit, when I was a kid, I remember playing football in the street and just hearing that ice cream van and thinking, oh, yeah, here we go. This is it now.
I remember as a kid in school and you telling me that owning an ice cream van was a great, you wanted to own an ice cream van because you knew someone who had an ice cream van.
Yeah. So my mum's cousins have an ice cream van even today. And I did think that was the best job in the world. Well, I mean, if they're stopping riots, they're doing good for society as well, Dan. So,
Good point.
Great job. Another one here. So apparently the police in Hawaii are legally allowed to have sex with prostitutes. Okay,
just the police.
Just the police. One of the highlights of becoming a police officer. It's one of the things just to lure people into doing it. So to lure people in, to kind of give them an incentive.
Yeah. What's the benefits? Okay. Good dental plan, home insurance, and you can fuck prostitutes. Okay,
sign me up. So sign me up. Yes, I want to do it. So yeah, great. A great benefit that is. We've got another one here. Apparently this was in Michigan in America. And the police department staged a fake wedding with undercover police acting as the bride and groom. And they invited local drug dealers to attend. And then the drug dealers went, and then it says they busted them all. So that's like a police term to say they arrested them. But my initial reaction to that was, so the drug dealers are getting invited to a wedding to people they don't know. Surely at some point...
Alarm bells, yeah.
Yeah, one of the drug dealers thought, this is a bit strange, isn't it? Can you even imagine being at the wedding and you've got no idea who's getting married? Oh, God, so happy for him. So happy.
I better bring my cocaine.
Exactly. Nothing else to do. I don't know who these people are, so I'll just take loads of drugs.
Are there going to be many drug dealers at your wedding?
Oh, full of them. Absolutely full of them, of course. It wouldn't be a wedding without some cocaine, would it? I've got another one here that apparently at the premiere of Beethoven's Ninth, I wasn't sure if they were referring to the film there or like there is a great film called Beethoven. So
about a dog.
Yeah, great film. But anyway, apparently there was such big applause, so everyone was clapping so much that the police had to step in, so they had to intervene because the amount of applause he was receiving apparently was inappropriate.
Where was this?
I don't know. Where was Beethoven from again?
I was asking you.
Oh, fuck. This just shows how stupid we are. But wherever Beethoven's from, I suppose.
Germany,
yeah,
Austria.
Somewhere like that. They had to step in because people were clapping too much and they were too happy. Can you imagine that? That's enough, okay? You've said he's great. Just stop there. We don't want him to get too big-headed. So when you get big-headed, it's when you start thinking you're wonderful.
They should have just started playing the ice cream music. That would have shut him up.
Great idea. Yeah, exactly. That always works. And so the Canadian police, apparently, obviously the police are known for giving tickets like parking tickets, speeding fines, and this kind of thing. Apparently they give out positive tickets to thank people for doing something good. You know, you pick up some rubbish and you get a ticket from the police. I don't know what's on the ticket, but again, when I saw that, I just thought, those bloody Canadians, they just do everything so well. They're so annoyingly perfect, Canadians.
Yeah. I didn't know you had such beef with Canadians, to be honest.
Oh, I've got beef. So when you have beef with someone, it's like when you've got something that you're not happy with, let's say, and you're angry about something. When I lived in Rome, actually, I was very close at the time with a Canadian, and he was just so happy all the time. And I was just like, look, can you just stop smiling and just being so positive? Like, let's just moan a bit and start talking and moaning about life, okay?
That sounds like a man who really is always fantastic.
Well, I'm a changed man now, Dan, okay?
Yeah. So you love Canadians now?
You know, I wouldn't go that far. So there's a nice term. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, changed man. But yeah, he was always just so happy. It would be maybe even raining one day, and he would just be like, "Hey man, how are you today? It's a great day, isn't it?" And I was just like, "Look, it's a shit day."
That's a Canadian accent, if anyone's wondering. Okay.
My best attempt at a Canadian accent. Another one here. It says police. I don't know where. Probably could have researched it, but I didn't. Police can reject people from joining the police because their IQ is too high, and they can say you might get bored with this police work, so you're too intelligent. Go and find another job.
I would have thought police work requires a high IQ. I mean, you want your police to be intelligent, surely.
You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think so, but apparently not. Apparently not. Probably that's why I never became a policeman, Dan, because too intelligent.
Stop it.
Too intelligent. I remember when I was a child, actually.
Oh, too intelligent. I assumed you were going to say too dumb. I don't know why I thought that, yeah.
Thanks for that. So remember, dumb is another word for stupid. But yeah, when I was a child and I found out I was colourblind, so I had difficulty distinguishing colours, we got like a letter and it said some of the jobs that I wouldn't be able to do. And one of them was policeman. And then I started crying because I couldn't be a policeman. I'd never wanted to be a policeman, but it's when someone tells you can't do something, then you think, oh, fuck.
I thought you found out when you were colourblind when you were 16, though.
16? I was about 4.
Okay. I remember for years you had a real problem because I used to, everyone would say when people find out you're colourblind, they try to test you. You've always had a bit of a problem with it.
It is something that annoys me. That's why I don't like to mention it, okay? Because as I said, you spend the next 10 minutes with people saying to you, what colour's this? What colour's this? What colour's this?
It's brown and red, isn't it, if I remember right?
The main ones, yeah. Moving on, though, from that, Dan, another one is that police cannot give you a lift, apparently. Again, I don't know where. I would imagine America. I think it was an American website, that one. So you can't get a lift with the police unless you're arrested, and they obviously give you a lift to the police station. But you can't get a lift.
Why would anyone want a lift with the police?
Well,
I don't understand. You just walk or get a cab.
Yeah, but if you haven't got any money, it's much better to get a lift, isn't it, than pay money for a taxi. And you could get a lift with a policeman, but apparently it's not allowed. Not allowed.
Yeah, but where are you as well? Are you in the town centre? Oh, I need to go home. Can I get a lift? Things would get out of hand if that happened.
So nice vocabulary again. Get out of hand. Get out of control. I just think it would be a nice thing. They're there to help the public. I need a lift.
You want a free lift? That's all. That's all you want. A free taxi.
I do hate paying for taxis. I just hate it. They're so expensive. And you think, look, I could walk this in not much time.
Or call the police.
Exactly. You also find when it's on the meter, obviously, so the meter's when the money's sort of increasing, and sometimes you just notice they're going a little bit slower.
Oh, it fucking drives me insane.
And you think, drive faster. I know you're trying to get money off me, you bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that, we don't want to get sidetracked with taxis. Apparently, police officers in Thailand are forced to wear Hello Kitty armbands. So if people aren't familiar with the Hello Kitty range, it's just basic. I don't know really what it is. It's just a picture of a cat, really, isn't it? You can get a bag, a Hello Kitty bag. Mm-hmm. Dan the man's got a few Hello Kitty jumpers, haven't you, Dan?
Too many.
Anyway, they have to wear an armband with that if they've done something wrong. So if they turned up for work late, so if they arrived late, or if they illegally parked, they have to wear this Hello Kitty armband just so everybody knows that they've done something wrong, just basically to publicly humiliate them. And I must admit, I do like that because I like public humiliation.
Yeah, but then I'd be thinking, what have they done wrong? Have they accidentally shot someone or,
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the greatest idea in the world. I'm just reporting about the police around the world so everyone has...
But the thing is, you say all this and then there's... Normally someone will comment on the post saying, that's not true.
Look, I'm just the messenger, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Take it up with the website. So when I say take it up with the websites, go and speak to the websites. And apparently, this is the last one, Japanese police started wearing gloves after the Beatles visited in 1966 because there were lots of women, apparently, that were going crazy. So the police decided to wear gloves because they didn't want to touch like their dirty hands. And since then, they've just thought, you know what, let's carry on wearing white gloves.
White gloves as well.
Yeah, I did think white gloves. It does make me think of Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
Maybe you can get the police all doing a Michael Jackson dance. That would be fantastic. Now, that would be fantastic. Doing the moonwalk.
Yeah, that'd be special.
That would be special. So if the Japanese police force are listening, let's see it. Let's see some Michael Jackson dancing. Okay, give the people what they want.
I would love it if Rock and Roll English could influence an entire nation's police force. Someone is listening. Okay, good idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. I doubt it, but you never know. You've got to be in it to win it, Dan the man.
Very profound.
Exactly. And on that profound note, I think it's time to say goodbye.
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Dan the Man and me speaking about the police. So let's have a look at some of that rock and roll vocabulary. I said that I've got over the stag, so I have recovered from the stag. And Dan the Man said, when I mentioned about the smell of my farts, he said that was the question on everyone's lips. That's a nice term there, the question on everyone's lips, the question everyone is asking themselves. Then we had some British slang ways to refer to the police, the old bill, the scum, the filth. The last two there are terrible, okay? Only really criminals or idiots use them. But the old bill is quite funny. It's not so offensive, and yes, it is British slang. And then speaking about the police, we said that when I'm in the car, for example, I worry they are going to pull me over. So when the police pull you over, they stop their car near yours and say, look, stop your car, let's have a chat. That is pulling you over. And then we were talking about calling off the wedding. So when you call something off, you cancel it. And then I thought Dan the Man might be able to shed some light on why policemen in Britain wear helmets. So I thought he may be able to give me some inside information because, he's got very close relationships to the police. And then we were speaking about the police in Hawaii, and one of the things to lure you in is that you can have sex with the prostitutes legally. So if it lures you in, it's giving you an incentive to do it, like come here, have sex with the prostitute. And then I said, okay, sounds good, sign me up. So if you say sign me up, it means basically put my name on the list. I want to do this, okay? I want to be a policeman in Hawaii, which I don't, by the way, just in case anyone is thinking that. And then we spoke about all of the police going to the wedding with the drug dealers, and we said the police busted them. It's a bit of an American term, I must admit, but something that is used in Britain as well. Maybe you can get busted for anything. Maybe you're at school and you're smoking a cigarette and then you get busted because then the teacher sees you and then you are in trouble. Then we spoke about Beethoven and we said that the police had to step in when people were clapping too much. So when they have to step in, they have to intervene and say, look, come on. Stop this, okay? Maybe if you see two people kissing, you can step in and say, look, that's enough, stop, get out of here. And then we said that they stepped in because they didn't want Beethoven to get too big-headed. So if you are big-headed, then it means you are full of yourself. You think you are fantastic. Oh, aren't I wonderful? That is someone that is big-headed. Then we were speaking about Canadians, and Dan the man said, I didn't know you had such beef with Canadians. So if you have beef with someone, you're not happy about something. You see someone that did something to you and you say, I've got some beef with you. And then when Dan the man said that I love Canadians, I said, I wouldn't go that far. So there's a nice term, like, I like them, but let's not say I love them. I wouldn't go that far. Then we spoke about policemen giving you lifts, and we said, things could get out of hand. We had that last week, out of control. We spoke about taxis and when they charge you with the meter. So that's the thing where you can see how much money you're spending for every meter you go. It's like 10p a meter. Outrageous. And then when Dan the man was telling me about all of these facts and saying they're not true, I said, take it up with the website. So take this issue up. Go and speak to the website about it. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Don't shoot the messenger. Anyway, all of this rock and roll vocabulary is on the website rockandrollenglish.com/episode 188. I will see you all again tomorrow for the extra podcast which I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and the next day and the next day and the next day. But still, in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.